here today and each year because we share a common purpose, an ocean legacy for the next generation of which we can all be proud.
It's always hard to be optimistic about the future of the ocean. A lot of statistics are going in the wrong direction, and we therefore have the capacity to reverse these problems.
Meetings such as the Seafood Summit are incredibly valuable because they create a conversation that is strong in its capacity to create change.
There's been conversations here about human rights, traceability, illegal fishing, and sustainable seafood, and all of those are really important to our work.
There's different stakeholders now coming to the table. It maybe started as more a collective of environmental groups and NGOs, but now is really starting to engage with the broader seafood industry and community.
In the beginning, maybe we weren't seeing as much international representation, but you can look at the crowd at this year's summit and see people from all around the planet. It's issues that we have are shared globally.
Sustainable seafood is equivalent to a sustainable ocean.
When we start talking about fisheries, one, it's the most complex food system, but two, it happens way out there in the middle of wherever, and we don't see what's happening. We don't know how that fish made it to our plate.
Once we can find a use for a leftover shell, we'll be completely sustainable.
15 years ago, who would have imagined that an NGO would be giving awards to commercial companies and individuals who've done so much to promote sustainability in the fishing industry?
We received more nominations this year than we ever had in the history of the Seafood Champions Awards.
And overall producing a responsible product, which, I hope that in the same way that it inspired me when I saw others some years ago getting it, hopefully it will inspire others here to try that bit harder and hope for the same recognition.
Cheers!
All the things I've done, I knew there was always a purpose, but when I come here and I'm with all these like-minded people, it really, brings it to home that, I'm doing this for a reason.
The momentum is now there. So now the key is to put these ideas in motion and to really start to make things happen.
We see the recommendations that you've brought forward and the decisions you're going to take as potentially really game changers.
It's one thing identifying the problem, it's another thing to identify the solutions that can bring it to an end.
Fishing at a scale that is reasonable, that does not require slave labor, that does not require destructive bottom trawling, bycatch. But this meeting also talks about aquaculture, about how to do aquaculture right, how to make a difference in its sustainability.
We're also looking at a brighter future because as we're making progress, in some places there are stories of success that are starting to emerge.
More countries, more stories, and therefore obviously more results.
What is it we're trying to sustain? Ourselves and our own health.
In one of the sessions this morning, they talked about the snowflake as being one of the most fragile and delicate things in nature, but collectively, a whole bunch of snowflakes as snow is very powerful. That's where we're at with these forums to bring everybody together.
Although we cannot overrule Mother Nature, there are actions that we can take, and most importantly that we can take together. Our commitment and our mission is to help people, communities, businesses and governments make smart decisions that directly impact the future.